Let's talk about kerosene pickles. Let's talk about Old Man Rimshaw. Let's talk about Barney's sidecar. It's always fun to hang out with y'all. A loaded goat is causing a stir from the panic he is creating. Come on in, take a seat. It's 2 chairs, no waiting. Sit a spell and tune right in. We are about to start the show. We have a lot to talk about with the folks that we all know. Opie, Andy, and Otis, Barn, and the Darlings too. This will be amazing. It's 2 chairs, no waiting.
Episode number 845, Mount Pilot or Pilot Mountain.
It's 2 chairs, no waiting. It's 2 chairs, no waiting. Let's start the show.
All right.
2 chairs, no waiting.
Hello, everybody. I'm Allan, Newsome, the host of 2 Chairs, No Waiting, and it is great to be here with you tonight. We're going to be talking about Mount Pilot or Pilot Mountain tonight. I've been cleaning up and doing some things around the house and ran across this cool story. Matter of fact, this one actually came from a friend of mine, Jim Schwanke. Have you ever heard of the Jim Schwanke Award that was presented for years at Mayberry Days? Well, Jim was the head of the Andy Griffith Show chapter called the Mayberry Texans, and he had a little thing he would put out from time to time that he called Howard's Notes. And Jim Clark, the presiding goober of the Andy Griffith Show Real Watchers Club, a few weeks ago, Jan and I went to see he and his wife Mary, and he sent back a tub full of articles and stories and things for me. And I was going through that and I found this nice story that I think you will enjoy. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to play some trivia later. And I think there was something else I was going to do, but maybe not. So we'll get this started with the Mount Pilot or Pilot Mountain. That'll be our first one. So I'm going to get us a little bit of background music just so it will be, I don't know, less... it'll be less just me talking. How about that? Let's do this. There we go. All right. So here we go. This is called, it says this is a, it's got a quote here from Floyd Lawson. If you want a good suit, you got to go to Mount Pilot. Yeah. Well, Pilot Mountain, if you guys have never seen Pilot Mountain, it is, it's a sight to behold. That's for sure. Pilot Mountain, North Carolina is called Mount Pilot on the Andy Griffith Show. When the show's creator wanted a sister city to Mayberry, they apparently found one just down the road from Andy Griffith's hometown. Theirs was not an accurate portrayal of the town, but the name only slightly changed the setting, and the people had great appeal. And Mount Pilot became an important part of the Andy Griffith Show. At least that's how the story is told around here. The mountain peak from which the town took its name stands at 2,421 feet above sea level. The highest pinnacle, with walls of bare rock and rounded top, rises 1,400 feet from the valley floor, with a knob jutting skyward more than 200 feet from the base. Wow. It was a landmark for the earliest white explorers who followed the Indian trails out of Virginia. They called it Mount Ararat, for the mountain where Noah's Ark came to rest after the flood. Not far from the mountain, there's a community named Ararat, along the banks of a small river by the same name, which runs south from Virginia and flows through Mount Airy towards the mountain. Indians called the mountain Jomiki. I'm sure I'm not saying that right, but that's what they called it. That's what they call the mountain, meaning great guide. I don't speak Indian. I'm sorry. They called it Jomiki. I don't know. They called it that, which I said, meaning great guide or pilot. Moravians, who came into the area around 1750s, thought the Indians' name made more sense, and they used that name, which stuck for over 200 years. Pilot Mountain. So it was Pilot Mountain. Then, as we know, the Andy Griffith Show started calling it Mount Pilot. There's no connection, of course, between the Moravians and everything, but the Moravians are mentioned, as you'll recall, in the Andy Griffith Show, because Andy Griffith was a Moravian who played in the church band and considered becoming a Moravian minister. Mount Airy, Mayberry, and Pilot Mountain, Mount Pilot. In the episode Barney, let's see, in episode 126, filmed and 125 broadcast, Barney said Mount Pilot was only 12 miles from Mayberry. Guess how far the town of Pilot Mountain is from Andy Griffith's hometown of Mount Airy? That's right, 12 miles. The entrance to Pilot Mountain State Park is just a little bit further. The distance may have varied in other episodes, but the convenient location of Mount Pilot was evident. It was a favorite place for Mayberryans to shop and to eat out or go to the drive-in movie. The fun girls, Skippy and Daphne, well, they were from Mount Pilot. Leonard Blush, the Masked Singer, he was heard on Mount Pilot Radio. Lydia Crosswaith worked there, and Aunt Bee learned to fly in Mount Pilot. And Mr. Izumoto taught judo there. It was where Barney found the lamp that would invoke the spirit of Count Isvandalecki. The Miracle Salve Company was located in Mount Pilot. And attorney Neil Bentley got a suit there, which Floyd greatly admired. In episode 186 filmed, or 187 broadcast aired, Goober's Replacement is the episode, we learned that early Gilly has a filling station outside of Mount Pilot. And you may already know, if you're a fan of Andy Griffith, that there really is an early Gilly. And he does have a service station and garage on the rural route in Pilot Mountain. What's more, Early is married to Andy Griffith's first cousin, Lorraine Beasley. And if you want to look it up, you can see Thelma Lou's greet Lorraine Beasley on the streets of Mayberry in episode number 92, A Wife for Andy. And did you know that Andy and Lorraine's grandmother was named Taylor before she married a Griffith? How about that? Didn't know that. All right, so here's a little bit of fact and fiction related to this. There are other true facts woven into the stories of Mayberry and Mount Pilot, but to be completely honest, the real life comparisons of their role models are a bit different off the TV screen. Mount Pilot is supposed to be much larger and busier than Mayberry. Actually, Pilot Mountain's population during the 60s, when the series was filmed, was about 1,310, while Mount Airy's population was 7,055. So Mount Airy was bigger. There are no tall buildings in Pilot Mountain, not much traffic, no maddening rush. The police department has 8 employees, no full-time people in the fire department, but 24 volunteers in the fire department. There's no movie theater. There's no YMCA. Sorry, Barney. There are good schools and libraries, a newspaper, community organizations, and there are 32 churches in the area. It seems to be a quiet, friendly place. One other thing, folks around here have a lot of pride in their textile mills. They admire the fine quality material, and that's why I believe Neil Bentley really did get his good suit there. So there you go. That was all about Mount Pilot. So Mount Pilot, if you don't know, Pilot Mountain is literally just down the road from Mount Airy, down Highway 52. If you get on it and go south, basically, you head to Mount Airy, and you can go and visit and go up on Pilot Knob and look around. It's a great view. It's a fun place to go. Jan and I went last August. We went up on top, not all the way to the top. There's 2 knobs. We went to the shorter one. But the town itself is a very small little town that people have visited, going there from an Andy Griffith Show perspective. We've had people drop by over at Mount Pilot, and it's not much different than Mount Airy. It's a small little town, so it's definitely something you'll want to see, and it's definitely something you'll see when you're driving down Highway 52. You'll see the Pilot Knob, the saddle is what they kind of call it, because it's kind of 2 humps, and I guess you sit in the little notch. But it is a sight to behold and something you're not likely to see in many other places, anything like it. So if you're ever up in the area, drop by and see Pilot Mountain. Definitely something you'll want to go see. So there you go, folks. That is a little bit of history, a little bit of knowledge about the general area around Mount Airy, but also about Mount Pilot. And I do want to thank Jim Schwanke. Years ago, this is from 1994, so some of the articles information might be a little out of date, but I think you're going to really have enjoyed that. So guys, there is one other thing I wanted to do before we get started. First off, I want to mention, I didn't even remember to tell you about Weaver's Department Store last week. Weaver's Department Store sponsors the podcast, so head over to Weaver's and check it out. They got a brand new book over there that's a volume 2, The Gospel According to Andy. So you can go and pick up volume 1 and volume 2 now. So there's more. If you have, if you enjoyed the first book, pick it up, or if you'd like to get them, you can get them, grab them here. These are Christian life lessons from every episode of season 3 of the Andy Griffith Show. So that's volume 2 of the series, and it's a great book. Ronald Vaughn, he wrote them, and he's got 3 Mayberry devotional type books. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, head over there and check it out. While you're there, it's 4th of July as we're recording this week, and you can head over and pick up a Mayberry U.S.A. flag t-shirt. Show off your spirit. Now, I'm not sure you'll get the shirt before this 4th of July, but you can head over there and check it out. It's a really cool shirt. It's got the American flag on it. Excuse me. And it's got the words Mayberry embedded in the flag. Definitely something you'd want to check out. And more flag stuff to set around your home. They have an American flag wooden block over there. It's one of those blocks, ladies like to sit around the house. It's got an American flag on it. It says Mayberry. Pretty cool decorations for the house. Head over to Weaver's and check out all this stuff over there while you're there. All right. So I did want to mention, since it is 4th of July week, I wanted to talk a little bit about, and you guys can help me on this. I was looking up information about actors or characters who've served in the military. I realize 4th of July is not a military celebration, but I don't think it's ever a bad time to talk about our military. So here we go. So on the series, we know, for instance, that Sheriff Andy Taylor, played by Andy Griffith, obviously, is noted to have served in World War II as an Army veteran. He talked about that in A Feud is a Feud, so we know that. but that's the only real mention of Andy's service on the show. Now, Sheriff Taylor is who that was, obviously, that was supposed to have done it. Now, Barney also served in World War II. He served as a file clerk on Staten Island, but he never left the United States. Andy was over in France, according to him, on the show. And, of course, we know about Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle served in the Marine Corps, the Marine Corps. We already knew that. Now, several of the actors from the show that I am aware of and could find served in the armed forces as well. Don Knotts being the first one we'll talk about. He served in the U.S. Army during World War II, performing as a ventriloquist and a performer in the Special Services Battalion of the U.S. Army. So he ran around and entertained the troops in variety shows and things. So another one, Howard McNear, Floyd Lawson. Of course, Don Knotts played Barney. I think y'all guys know that. Howard McNear, Floyd Lawson. He served in the U.S. Army Air Corps during World War II. I don't know much else about it, but he did serve. George Lindsay, Goober. He served in the U.S. Air Force as well, and he also, I believe, from everything he told me in the past, was a performer. He performed and entertained. He did things like that as well in the Air Force, I believe. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I can't remember. I couldn't find that information, but I believe that was true. One I didn't know about, according to what I was able to research, Denver Pyle, Briscoe Darling. He was in World War II. He was a veteran of World War II as well. Didn't see which service that he had served in. Also found out that Parley Bear, the Mayor Stoner, Roy Stoner, S-T-O-N, yeah. Parley Bear, he was in the Army Air Force, or the Air Corps, during World War II, serving as a captain in the Pacific Theater. I didn't know that. That's cool. And Jack Dodson, Howard Sprague, he served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. And I did a podcast about him years ago. I can't remember. But we had some pictures even of him serving and wearing his uniform. So just some additional notes. Those are the only ones I could confirm that were in the military or the characters had been. I'm sure there are others. I know Hugo Hopflash. He served in the German army, but he doesn't count, so he doesn't count. And we never actually saw him. So if any of you guys know of more actors or the characters that served in the military, I think this would be a good thing to add to Mayberry.info, to the website, to list off all these. Additional notes here. I didn't know this either. Frances Bavier is reportedly was involved in U.S.A. during World War II. She performed tours to entertain the troops. She did that. And definitely I do know, because she talks about it in her wonderful book. If you hadn't listened to the book, or bought the book, I should say, I listened to it. But Betty Lynn, Thelma Lou, she served in the U.S.A. in World War II, and she was only 18 years old. She was 18 years old, volunteered, had to get her mother's permission to be able to do this, obviously. She joined the U.S.A. and toured in China and Burma and India, into that theater, entertaining the troops. And she was one of the first to visit the newly released American prisoners of war in Calcutta hospitals. According to A Shroud of Thought, I believe that's a website that tells that, but it's also in her book. She talks about it. Her U.S.A. tour included singing and visiting with wounded servicemen in the hospitals. She even received a pistol from a Marine who told her she might need it. And that is all in the Andy Griffith Museum. There's an entire section down there about Betty Lynn, and she's in her uniform, the pistol, all that stuff is there in the Andy Griffith Museum. If you're in Mount Airy, definitely drop by there and check it out. It would be cool. People are telling me that Ernest T. Bass tried to join the Army because he wanted his uniform. I want a uniform. So that is true. Ernest T. did. And Al, Bert, and the Milo boys, they were all in the war because they talked about that on the show when they were looking at Barney's sidecar, if you remember. That's when that is. So if there are more, let us know, and we will try to make a website honoring all those people. I think that would be a cool thing to do, and we can do that for Memorial Day or Veterans Day. We'll definitely have it hopefully by then. So email me that information if you'd like to at Floyd@Mayberry.com. Please send it to me, and I will try to gather it all together and do something with it. Allan Melvin is also served in the military, we believe. So check it out. Look that up and see. I know he was in Gomer Pyle. He was in so I know that much. So, all right, guys, that is all I have. Let's play a little bit of trivia. You guys want to do that? Let's have a little bit of trivia fun. This is going to be some easy, kind of just fun trivia. I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's start playing it. You guys ready? Get your pencil and your piece of paper, and let's go. Question number 1. Gomer wore the general's dress blues. True or false? Gomer wore the general's dress blues. True or false? Oh, that's right. Dud Wash. He was in the military. Folks in our chat room are telling me this. All right, the answer is that's false. He did not wear the general's dress uniform. I'm not going to say who it was because it might be another question. What song did Gomer sing at boot camp while wearing a bucket on his head? What song did Gomer sing at boot camp while wearing a bucket on his head? I'm not even sure he had made it to boot camp yet. He was just registering, getting in. I mean, I'm not even sure. All right, the answer, the Marine Corps hymn. The Marine Corps hymn. Folks in our chat room are jumping in with the answers. That's good. All right. Number 3. What did Gomer wear for his first military inspection? These are Gomer Pyle questions, aren't they? What did Gomer wear for his first military inspection? I'm not seeing people jumping in yet on this one. That is, I see one in our YouTube chat room. Guys, if you would like to be a part of our chat rooms, we have chat rooms on Facebook, YouTube, and our main chat room at live.twochairsnowaiting.com. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can join in with a bunch of folks. We got 30 or 50 people here. I don't know. There's a bunch in different groups. The answer to that question, what did he wear for his first inspection? He wore Sergeant Carter's dress blues. Yeah, it was Sergeant Carter's uniform that he was wearing, not a general's. All right, number 4. When Barney stopped a woman for speeding through Mayberry, she told him that he resembled who? When Barney stopped a woman for speeding through Mayberry, she told him that he resembled who? All right. All right, the answer. Pause if you don't want to hear the answer. The answer is Old Blue Eyes. Frank Sinatra. Yeah, he has been confused for Fred upstairs before. Yeah. I think David Browning always said that. All right, number 5. True or false? Floyd was Warren's father. True or false? If you get this wrong, you got to go back to episode 1 of the podcast and start listening, okay? All right. Floyd was Warren's father. The answer is false. That is not true. No, he was not his father. Warren, I am not your father. No, that's that's Darth Vader, and it's I am your father. That doesn't work. All right, number 6. Did Mrs. Mendelbright ever receive the white Bible in church? Wow, you guys know this one? Did Mrs. Mendelbright ever receive the white Bible in church? What is the white Bible? What is that? I don't know what that is. The answer, and folks are getting this right, yes is the answer. What is the white Bible? Is that, I don't know what that is. The only white Bible I know about is the little one from the Gideons. You get, it's white when you're a certain age. I think when you graduate, maybe. All right. Number 7. Why did Barney want Mary Grace to go out with Luke Taff? Oh no, why didn't he? Why did Barney not want Mary Grace to go out with Luke Taff? Why didn't he want her to go out with Luke Taff? Oh, you get it at confirmation or baptism, according to the chat room. Thank you, Scott. Why didn't Barney want Mary Grace to go out with Luke Taff? All right. The answer, and folks in the chat rooms are getting it, he hits the sauce. He drank. He hits the sauce. That was the reason. Number 8. How was Warren Ferguson related to Floyd? Well, we know he wasn't his son because that was the first question. How was Warren related to Floyd? How was he related? Yeah, everybody's getting this. It's a color one, but you guys know the answer on this one. Warren was Floyd's nephew. It was his nephew. All right. Let's do 4 more and we'll call it quits. All right, here we go. Number 9. And for true or false, Floyd gave everyone their first haircut free of charge. True or false? I don't remember that even being answered or asked. I don't remember that. Floyd gave everyone their first haircut free of charge. The answer, I don't remember where this is from, so if anybody does, please let me know. The answer is false. He didn't. Yeah, he was cheap. Yeah, and Foley was cheap, not Floyd. Foley, he was a cheap. Have you ever been over there and he even offers you so much as a piece of fruit? Oh, he's cheap. Not Floyd. All right. What are we in? 9, 10. Number 10. Who gave Andy his first haircut? This is not hard. Who gave Andy his first haircut? Of course, if it was, I can't believe it wasn't Aunt B, but it's not. It was Floyd. Floyd gave Andy his first haircut. Yeah, trick question. All right. 2 more questions. What decoration was on Gomer's purple tie? What decoration was on Gomer's purple tie? All right. What was on his purple tie? Yeah, it was. And it wasn't just Gomer's. It showed up in other episodes on other people like Mayor Stoner. The decoration on Gomer's purple tie was acorns. A purple tie with acorns on it. And our last question. Spark plugs for Mr. Tucker's car cost how much? She's an 8-cylinder. She'll take 8. Spark plugs on Mr. Tucker's car cost how much? Oh. All right. I see at least one answer is correct in our chat rooms. Did you get this? I wouldn't have got this. I didn't know. So let me give you the multiple choice on this. They were 75 cents, 85 cents, 95 cents, or $1.15. How much were the spark plugs? I already saw one answer is correct, so I give Shazam, Captain Marvel, in our chat room. You didn't get it. Sorry. It was Emmett Clark that got it right in our chat room, and it was $1.15. $1.15. It's a good guess, though. $1.25. That's probably what I would have said until I heard the multiple choice. All right. Yep, you were right after that in the chat room. All right, guys, how did you guys do? Did you enjoy it? That's a fun thing, right? Did you enjoy it? Did it bring back some memories of the Andy Griffith Show as we go through some of these trivia questions? It always does for me. So I hope it did for you as well. Folks, I really enjoy spending time here with you in Mayberry. I would love to hear what you have to say about the podcast and just everything that's going on. I would love for you to give me a call. I have a new number. It's 256-513-9526. So 256-513-9526. It's written down on the website as well, so if I said it wrong, please go there. But that's how you can leave me a voicemail. You can also do it by heading over to our podcast website at twochairsnowaiting.com. There's a leave a voicemail button right there. You can record yourself on your phone, record the audio, send me the audio file. It's another great way to do it. Or you can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you next time right here on Two Chairs.